this video I will be showing you guys how to set up MEKPreme and just everything about the bot. When you first open the bot, you see the task section followed with the profile, proxy, settings, copt, and all the delays at the bottom here. To begin, you want to start off by heading to the profile section and adding your billing information and all your personal information. Once that is all filled out, just hit add billing, and then you want to head over to your proxy section. Here in the proxy section, you're going to be having two lists or more. The first one is the default one, which is labeled default. This is where you will have your ISP and DC proxies. These proxies won't be checking out anything. These are just to monitor the site and pick up the items before you check out. To add proxies to check out the item with, you're going to have to click add proxy here at the bottom left. You can name it whatever you want and just click add proxy, copy paste in your list, and just hit save. All ISPs and data center proxies get blocked on initial release but will work when running for restock. So for initial, make sure you're either running off your local host or fast residential proxies. Once you've done all that, head over to the task creation section and click add task to start making your tasks. Here you're going to see task name. You can leave it whatever you want. Profile, just select your profiles or all profiles here at the top. Add your keywords. I'm going to be setting up for the Supreme Air Forces, which restock throughout the season. And for MEKPreme keywords, you're going to make sure you add +sign before your keyword. So just add plus, force. You can add a comma and add more keywords, but this will be fine for this release. Proxy list, localhost, or the residential proxy that you're going to be running. Don't run default since ISPs and DCs get blocked. Category will be shoes, of course. I'm cool with color being random and size being random. Item quantity 1, and for mode. And for the mode section, there's going to be a lot of modes you see here. Browser safe and browser normal are the two commonly used ones for running initial releases, and API mode is the one you're going to be running for restocks. Browser headed is also here. This is mainly for big releases like the Burberry box logo and Tiffany box logo. Anything really hype that Supreme usually adds like an extra step before checking out. Like sometimes they'll ask you to fill in the circle or whatever. And browser headed will be the mode, so you can manually solve those questions. And in-store signups, that's of course if you're signing up for in-store, and monitor is just to monitor restocks. Then you have the lowest price and highest price. Supreme doesn't really mess with pricing right now, so you could just leave that as is. Then you have captcha bypass, which doesn't work anymore. That's a thing in the past, so you're just going to leave that off. Retry on failure, you're going to make sure you have this on. 3D bypass, that's only for EU. You could leave that off since you're running US release, Supreme US. Just hit create, and once you created, you want to start your task roughly about 2 minutes beforehand. API, I'm pretty sure you could start like 30 seconds beforehand and you'll be fine. And that's pretty much it for setting up tasks on MEKPreme for Supreme. But you're not done here. You want to head over to your settings tab and make sure you have captcha harvesters open. If you're going to be using AYCD autosolve, make sure you have this ticked on. And if you're not going to be using that, have it off and then just select your harvesters here. Make sure you select the default button and not the sign up button. The sign up button is only there if you're running Supreme in-store signups. And the default one is there for your regular tasks. Click default and it should pop up the browsers right here. And these will be HCAPTCHAs you'll be solving for Supreme. Luckily, MEKPreme has their own HCAPTCHA solver, built-in solver, so you're not really gonna have to do any solving. Sometimes it's turned off and you're gonna have to solve one or two on your own, but mainly it's just gonna be all automated. So you're just gonna have to have them open and you'll be just fine. And you can have your webhook here to see all your checkouts, add it and test it. And then you have the cop section. This is pretty much straightforward. This just shows all your checkouts that you've gotten over the past few months or just owning the bot. And then you have this section right here. It says monitor false, ticket true, and release. So when ticket is true, you want to make sure you have release ticked on. If it's not, you could leave it off, but I generally just leave it on and I do just fine on releases. Monitor, that's just basically if you're running your monitor tasks. You have your monitor, checkout, and timeout. This is it's perfectly fine if you leave it as default. Sometimes I drop it a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't have any like advantage to it. It's pretty much all the same speeds. And that's pretty much it for the task creation and just the general setup for MEKPreme. I want to make sure, I'm going to go over it again because it's really important. I want to make sure you guys know that you cannot run ISPs and DC proxies on your initial release. Those usually end up getting blocked and your task won't even pick up your product. You want to just have these ISPs here, so the bot will be using these to pick up the product and checking out onto your local host or your residential proxies that you have in your second list. Your local host, I personally run up to around 8 to 10 local hosts, and I do just fine with that. And also to note, MEKPreme is very PC intensive, especially when you're running the browser tasks, so be wary of how many tasks you're running. Your maximum amount of browser tasks is here at the top. Mine's 24, but I recommend you guys staying below that. Like, I have 24 right here, but I stick to around like 16 max. And as far as API goes, that doesn't really have too much of an effect on your PC, so you could have a lot more of those. Thank you for watching this MEKPreme tutorial. If you guys would like more one-on-one help from me and other experienced botters, then I recommend you guys signing up for our cook group, juiced in the description. We do weekly botting calls as well as provide free bot rentals for bots like Cyber, Velox, and many more. If you want to give it a shot, make sure to use code YouTube for 20% off your first month via the top link in the description.